Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we break down one of their records. We get into the music, the lyrics, how it was made, and everything in between. My name is Tyler. Way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening or watching, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. Tell your friends, share all the posts. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. And that's all I have for the boring intro. We are in punk season, second week of punk season.
Second week after this, punk season, baby.
We have 3 weeks of punk season left. 2, and then the last one, they're kind of on the edge of being punk.
Huh.
Detroit, remember?
Oh,
there we go.
That'd be a good one.
It's gonna be good. All pretty much 70s punk, right? 70s, early 80s punk. That's pretty much all we're doing. So,
except for next week. I guess you could. They're 80s punk.
Yeah, they're kind of 80s punk.
Technically, they're 80s punk.
But that one we're doing, is 90s. But anyway, what are we doing today? Jeff? What are we doing today?
We're doing "Walk Among Us" by the Misfits.
By the Misfits, their second record. Some people say first record from 1982.
I don't say that.
I say second record because it technically is their second record, and we don't include 12 Hits from Hell because that is not a real record like Static Age is. From 1982, punk season. That's what we're doing. We've done Static Age before. If you want to go listen to that episode, go for it. We did that a little over 3 years ago on the podcast. Just look it up on all your streaming sites. It's all there. But yeah, Walk Among Us. Let's just get into our origin story. Origin story with Misfits. Like, we haven't done this fucking for 8 years. Like, I'm still fumbling around. Even Skip called me out on the Discord today about it.
You should just write it down and read from the teleprompter.
That's fun.
Something.
It is something. So yeah, what do you got? What's your origin story with Misfits? Go.
No effects. We're singing from a teleprompter.
They were. That's true. Yeah, most bands do.
That's fine.
Or a lot of bands do.
That's fine. When you're playing 150 songs in 3 days, like I don't blame you.
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah. That's okay.
Korn does it, and they're the greatest band ever. So
all right.
Sure, dude.
That's something, dude.
We could have seen them. You were out here in California. We could have gone on Saturday and seen them, but you chose not to go see them.
Where were they playing?
L.A. At the BMO Stadium. I don't even know what stadium that is now. But
BMO Stadium?
The BMO.
We didn't even drive to fucking San Pedro. There's no fucking way we're going to drive to L.A.
I would go see Korn, but...
That's silly.
Anyway, origin story with Misfits. What do you got?
My true origin story is when at some point when we did Static Age, I think, maybe, I don't know. That's when I really listened to them and I was like, oh, this is pretty fucking dope. Otherwise, it was always just goofy ass Misfits. Misfits are goofy. They're a goofy band. Danzig's a goofy guy, and like I never really cared for Sam Hain. Never really cared for Danzig. I like the song "Mother." It was fun to play in Guitar Hero. We had a good time doing it.
Yeah,
but I never got into the Misfits. I think it was because of like the people that like the Misfits are just so stupid sometimes. Like the Crimson Ghost thing is just like it's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
And like Hot Topic just sold the fuck out of every merch possible with the Crimson Ghost on it. It's like, oh, that band's got to be stupid. Then I'm not going to listen to them because I'm a punker, and that's what punkers truly
like that
do.
With so many bands.
I think just 2. Just 2. Misfits. Actually, it was just the Misfits. Because I did listen to Metallica. I just didn't listen to good Metallica.
Okay. All right. So your origin story was when we did it on the pod. That's so weird to me that you never heard any Misfits song.
Oh, dude.
You probably did, but you were just being a little bitch about it. And
I liked what I heard, but I didn't like it enough to dig in deep. I was like, okay, that's cool. I get it. Now I'm gonna go do something else.
Okay. That's something, dude. That's something, dude. So my origin story with Misfits was American Psycho, the song American Psycho. Because I'd always seen the patches and shit like that back in like middle school, like late elementary school, middle school. I always saw the patches. So I went out to Napster.com and downloaded the first Misfits song that popped up, and it just happened to be American Psycho. Downloaded it.
Woo!
Love that song. I really, really did love that song.
That's a hell of a first song, though.
It was a hell of a first song, correct. So then, this is early internet. I wasn't friends with that many punkers at the time, and I was embarrassed that I didn't already like Misfits. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to Best Buy and buy a Misfits record. And my dumbass, guess what I bought? I bought Project 1950.
Yeah.
On CD. And it was terrible. I fucking hated it. And then I told some friends like a little while later, like, oh, I got this. It's really, I don't like Misfits. And I told them why. I'm like, well, yeah, you got to fucking listen to their first like 2 records. And sure as shit, I was proven wrong. And then like it was during high school when I really, really got into Misfits. Just listened to them a ton. And I've wanted to do them on the pod for a long time. And we finally did in 2021 or 2020, 2021, whatever it was. And yeah, they're just, I mean, the Danzig era is unmatched. The 3 records, Static Age, Walk Among Us, and Earth AD, Wolf's Blood, you can't fuck with them. You just really, really can't fuck with them.
Won't.
Can't do them. So let's get into our initial thoughts on this record, Walk Among Us. We'll get into some of the background, songs individually, bangers, this and that. I assume you have no stinkers on this one, right?
No, there's no stinkers.
No stinkers. I agree. No stinkers. How many bangers do you have?
This is one of those ones that's a lot like Bad Brains, where like every song I think is fucking cool. I enjoy it. I love it. But I didn't list them all as bangers. Didn't.
Well, I have 13.
Not to say they're not bangers, but I didn't list them all as bangers.
Okay. Well, I got 13, so that's fine. Yeah, we'll talk about it. So, do you want to talk more about like kind of the history of the band? Not the history, but like this kind of era of the band. You want to get into our number one banger, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth like we've never done this before.
Whatever you want, kid. Do whatever you want, babe boy.
Okay, fine.
I'll do whatever. Banger.
We'll get into to our 1Bs. Number 1 bangers. What do you got for number 1? Go. As you take a drink.
My 1B is Mommy Can I Go Out and Kill Tonight. That's my 1B.
Really? The live song? All right.
It's the most punk song on the record.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
It's live. It sounds like shit. They're barely fucking holding it together. It's choppy. And like, why is it fucking live? It's stupid. It's silly.
It makes no sense.
And the little like slow to fast change is just fucking wild because the slow part's already fast. And when they go like to the fast part, it's lightning fast and they can barely do it. Fucking cool.
This whole album, they could barely hold it together, which is great. So they, like you said, this is recorded live at the Ritz in New York City. And I really love how it just, all the music stops. And then Jerry just yells that, "Mommy, can I go out and kill tonight?"
It's a long pause too. Like it's
really
it's not just a pause, right? Like they stop and then start something else in like 3 or 4 seconds.
It's so
pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
It's a really, really cool song. It's spastic. It's just outrageous. It's really one of the more aggressive songs from late 70s, early 80s. I mean, you could throw this up there with some Bad Brain stuff, some Black Flag stuff. Obviously there are other bands, but I mean those are the big ones. But
yeah. It's crazy. It's wild. It's it's fun and lyrically it's like he just goes for it. Like everything about it, he's just going for it. It's all fitting into the theme. And I like that these songs are just, I don't want to call them like superficial because that sounds like he's not a good songwriter.
Yeah.
But it's
intentional, at least.
It's intentional. It's all part of the K. He's keeping it kayfabe is what he is. Yeah. Everything's part of the kayfabe.
Danzig he's treating this band like it's a movie, like it's a B movie, and just he's trying to be a little bit offensive. I mean, this song itself is very gory. The story is that it's about him being bullied as a teenager, as a kid, and then he gets his revenge on peoples. And he just brutally kind of like kills them. And the lyrics are kind of gory. It's kind of like Carrie. It kind of reminds me of Carrie a little bit, the movie, which came out 3 years prior to this, where she's constantly bullied, pushed just a little bit too far, and then she kills everybody.
I mean, the difference with Carrie is like she didn't really do anything. Dennis is a dick.
It's just that's true.
Douche, and like I like watching videos of him like getting what's coming to him. It's good. It was fun.
Oh, it's a fantastic song. It's a fantastic song.
No, it's a good song. It's a good song. It's cool, and it's pretty descriptive. Like when he talks about razor blades, love teenage flesh. Like, I just watched these movies called Terrifier. You ever seen Terrifier?
Oh no.
Did we talk about this when I was out there?
It sounds familiar, but I mean, we got pretty toasty when you were out here. Mind you,
they're new.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
their new horror movies that just came out like 5 years ago ish, and the third one's coming out like in 2 days on Friday. So we watched the first two, and the first one, dude, it's so aggressive. It's so, oh my god. The first one, they strung this girl up by her legs. Yeah, they strung her up by her legs, and she's naked, and they took a hacksaw and cut her from like pink to her face, and just cut her in half like that. And I didn't watch it. I straight was like, I'm not gonna watch this, bro.
We did talk about that. We did talk about this while you were out here.
So you watched the second one yesterday because someone like really wanted to watch the third one. It's like, I'll watch it, dude, but like, I'm gonna turn my head straight up. I'm gonna turn my head if it's too gross. I don't watch this fucking weird gore porn shit.
Yeah,
and yeah, I turn my head a lot because it's weird and it's gross. Like the third one's supposed to be crazy, bro. The third one's supposed to be like people were walking out of the theaters when they premiered it over in like Europe or France. France gave it like a rating that like they've never given any other movie ever. It's supposed to be like killing kids and shit in it. It's fucking weird.
Jesus Christ! I was gonna say like, what can I mean? It's being a little dramatic, with that. But I mean, crazy. Yeah, you're like killing kids and shit. I mean, that's.
In the ending of the second one, the girl has like a baby somehow. I don't remember her like having sex or getting raped or anything. She just has a baby with the clown's head in it.
Yeah.
And you can see her pulling out like the umbilical cord and she's yanking it out herself and kind of like laughing. And Sherry has a fucked up face because she got like declawed by this thing. And like she birds his head. And as she's like eating her umbilical cord and like wiping blood on the wall. Dude, it's wild.
Is this like the equivalent to like the Human Centipede movies like 15 years ago? Like with kind of how outrageous it was. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like, is it just like so weird and offbeat? Because Human Centipede, there was like, as far as I know,
that was a one and done. That was a one and done. That was like.
But did you ever see the second one?
No.
That second one, like you thought the first one was crazy. Like the first one was crazy because it was so weird, but it still had this like kind of artistic approach to it, like the way it was filmed and everything.
The second one's supposed to be like one of the worst movies ever made.
The second one is unreal. The second one is. Wow.
But once you see the Human Centipede the first time, like I'm not going to watch it again. The difference between like with that and the Terrifier movies, the soundtrack is fucking amazing. These are shot like they're like old like 80s slasher movies.
Okay.
Like the way they look is fucking really, really cool. Like the character design, like all of their costumes, everything about it, it's actually really fucking dope. It's a really dope movie.
I've seen the clown.
So
thing.
Gory.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the clown thing, but I didn't know about
the
it.
The music's fucking cool. It's like they're back in like Nightmare on Elm Street or Jason or something. It's really, really cool. And I like it. But it's really gory.
Really gory. And I don't care for that gore porn horror stuff. Like it doesn't do anything for me.
It's a little aggressive.
Like the only thing that I thought was like a good movie was the first Saw movie. The second one was pretty good too. But that's like when it comes to gore porn, that's really as far as I go. I don't care to see more than that. Human Centipede was cool. Well, not cool, but it was I don't regret watching it. It was shocking, yeah. There was one part in the second movie though, because the second movie follows like this like mentally challenged guy, and he's essentially like a security guard, like a parking security guard, and then he ends up abducting a bunch of people and making them the Human Centipede. But he does it in even more of a fucked up way, and he actually abducts this one lady who's pregnant, and then that pregnant lady escapes. If I'm remembering correctly, it's been a very long time, but she escapes the centipede right before he's about to like sew them together, and then she gets into her car, but she's giving birth at the same time, and then while she's driving away trying to escape, she gives birth to the baby, and the baby falls between the pedal and the baby's head. So she's like trying to like step on the gas pedal, but it's not going, but he's trying to break into the window, and she just keeps stomping and stomps her baby's head into like oblivion.
God.
Yeah. The second one was wild, but it was but it was a kind of a logical continuation of this first movie, because it was about that mentally challenged person who was so obsessed with the doctor from the first one. Because the second one comes out and it's kind of meta. It's like, oh, the first movie was a movie, and it's a guy reacting to the actual Human Centipede movie and kind of thinking it's real and like fantasizing about it and obsessing over the movie, and then he wants to do what happens in the movie in real life. That's what the second movie is about. It's fucked up though. The second movie's fucked up. Third one's really, really stupid. I would never recommend it because there's like 100-person Human Centipede at a prison in Arizona. They're making fun of that one like sheriff out in Arizona.
Sheriff Joe Arpaio?
Yeah, and it takes place
Tent
like out
City.
there. Yeah, it takes place like tent city kind of thing. And it's like 100-person human centipede. It's so over the top. And he eats like vagina, like pussy lips and shit like that, like
Tent
dried
City was a
pussy lips.
shit, dude.
Tent city
That
was
was a shit.
something
You
in real
fuck up,
life.
you go to Tent City. You literally live in a tent if you're in jail under the hot Arizona sun.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's fucking nuts.
That's something. They give him a fan, call it a day.
That's wild.
That's something, dude.
It is wild. It's wild.
I've met people who have been to Tent City like over the years, and they all say like it's not like you don't die. There's plenty of water for you. There's plenty of stuff. It's just so hot you can't do anything. So all you do is lay around all day. And I was like, well, that's kind of like a good way to cut down on like fights and things like that. I said all they do is just play cards and shit all fucking day.
Yeah. And we've seen the government, our own government, do worse to the, our own soldiers and shit like that in the desert.
Well, it's crazy because like our prison systems are terrible, and all they do is fucking fight in the prison systems anyway. So unless you just solitary confine them all day, there's no other way you can, I guess, stop the fighting except to stop locking them up to begin with. Otherwise, just put them in Tent City. But yeah, Sheriff Joe Arpaio was God out here for a long decades.
He's dead now, though. I mean, he's long gone, right?
He's gone. I don't know if he's dead or not, but he's gone. But much for pooping. But now the elections come like a big election's coming up. The guy running for sheriff now is like I think one of his slogans is either bring back Sheriff Joe, or like I'm gonna run it like Sheriff Joe, or like I'm gonna bring back Tent City, something along the lines of that. I hear a lot of people talking about how excited they are with that.
God damn.
Arizona's lawless, dude. People give a fuck out here.
I mean, look at it. It's. I mean, can you imagine living in Arizona like prior to air conditioning, like before 1950? Dude, it'd be almost impossible to live out in Arizona.
Dude, Native Americans have been doing it for hundreds of years.
Yeah, but they're crazy. They're fucking crazy.
I don't fucking know how they do it. Although we do get a lot of like people that live on the res, they come into our record store, and there's one guy in particular that will save him all the because he's trying to build like a collection and open like a museum on the res that's specific to like Native American music, and so we try to collect all the stuff for him and pretty much just sell it at cost.
Nice.
It's like we like this kid, he's a cool dude, but he'll come in like a sweater and shit and fucking jeans like 120. I'm like, aren't you hot, bro? He's like, no, I'm good. Fuck, all right.
There's some wild genes, man. Man, that was quite the tangent. I didn't think we'd actually be going off on really any tangents on this episode because Misfits are just...
It was Terrifier. You should watch Terrifier 1 and 2 and then 3, and then we can talk about it for Halloween.
Dude, I just don't like the gore porn stuff. I don't like horror movies.
They're cool movies, though. They're actually really good movies. They're cool.
Are they scary, though? I don't like scary movies. I don't like to be scared.
They're not like I'm a bitch. They're not any more scary. They're not. I know you're a bitch, but they're not any more scary than like the old like Jason movies or the Friday 13th or the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Okay, got it.
They're kind of intense sometimes, but it's. I like killers that are supernatural. I don't like killers that can be stopped. I like that's why I like Michael Myers a lot. It's because you can shoot him, you can cut off his head, you can do whatever you want to him. He's always going to come. And I like that. Like, I don't want. Because like killers that can be stopped and like they don't get stopped, it's based too much in reality. I don't want to watch. If I watch people get killed all the time by a real killer, I'll turn on the news. Right? That's what I'll do. I want to watch like a Jason. I want to watch like a Freddy.
Okay, got it.
This Terrifier guy's a dick. Like he does some dick thing. Like bro, that's just you're an asshole.
That's just fucked up.
Like how you killed that little kid right there. That was not cool, bro. I would not have done that. Anyway, yeah.
Let's move on. Mommy, can I go out and kill tonight?
That's what Spurt is, dude. It's the razor blades in the flesh. Because one of his tools that he uses is like a mace, but like a whip mace. Like all like it's like a long stick, and at the end of the stick there's like a rope. At the end of that rope there's all these little like little fingers, kind of.
Yeah. I know
but what he does is he uses like a pipe, and then there's like a chain, and then attached to the chain is like, like 4 scalpels and like a couple pairs of scissors. And he uses that as a whip. So like whipping people's back and whips this girl's face and just like fucking like that. Like, oh.
It's fucking gnarly.
But it's Halloween time, and it's just like this is what we do during Halloween time. It is kind of fun to like be scared. It is kind of fun to do that. And that's like what Halloween should kind of be. It's not about just trick or treating, but it's also about like the spooky element.
Yeah, I know.
Like we've been talking about for years to like do a haunted house in our house, and I have so much wood in my garage. I really want to do it, but I know it's just gonna be me. I should ask Dave. Dave would have helped me. Halloween's cool. I love Halloween.
I like
Halloween's
Halloween
so
a lot. Yeah, I do.
Well, you're like a hardcore Christian thumper, so you don't like Halloween. You think it's the devil's holiday or some shit like that.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I've heard a lot of dumb things. I've heard a lot of dumb things from you, but that one's pretty fucking dumb.
That's been
anyway.
Pretty fucking dumb.
So that song "Mommy Can I Go and Kill Tonight" is my 8B. So
whoa,
yeah. So Skulls is my 1B.
I want your skulls.
I need your skull. I mean, the lyrics are just stupid. But I mean, most of the lyrics on this record are. This is kind of like a more mid-tempo jam. Like there's like two things on this record. You either have your more hardcore bass songs, or you have your almost like Misfits mid-tempo, which aren't even mid-tempo, but for them they are, with like a lot of the crooning, the backup vocals, more of a swingy feel to them, and that's what this is. And so I love that part of it. I really, really love how catchy and fun it is to sing, but I also love because this record is so kind of bootleg, and how shittily it was recorded. Throughout this specific song, you could hear the guitar cutting out in the mix, like the cable's like so shitty. For like the guitar cable is so shitty that it's cutting in and out, like because he's probably moving his guitar a little bit too much while he's playing. And I fucking love it. I love that. It's so stupid.
It's like all of us have gone through our fair share of shitty cables that only work in one direction, one specific spot, and you know the spot it is, right?
Yes, exactly.
And you're the only one that can work that cable, and you know how it fits in the end. And then that cable is
and
garbage.
Then you try because it's so shitty. You kind of like tie it up in your strap and everything. So it's like kind of bent a little bit. Because that's the only way it really works is if the cable's bent, and you can do that by wrapping it around your strap and shit. But then you move a little bit too much, you walk a little too far away, and then you're fucked.
I think I still have like 2 cables that are like that.
God. And they break so easily.
They do. But yeah, this is my 2B. I really only have, I think I have 6 like true Bs. Everything else kind of fell into the category of like, honestly, this song kind of sounds like this other song. Yeah. Like it's still all good. Like the Bad Brains thing. Like a lot of those songs kind of just sounded like other songs. Still good. I liked them. You can still tell it was Bad Brains. You can still tell these are Misfits songs, but I just haven't had that much experience with them. So I think they just sound kind of like other Misfits songs.
I get it.
Unlike Static Age, where every fucking song on Static Age is like its own thing. And that's why I think Static Age is their best.
I get what you're saying, but I mean, I think what it comes down to when you're listening to both records as a whole, when you're not really paying attention to like when songs are going into the next song, I feel like, as weird as it sounds, Walk Among Us is a better sounding like cohesive unit, but Static Age is better a song like when it comes to the songs individually. It's a better album.
I see what you're saying.
Because like going through this album this week and like breaking down each song, because I don't have very many notes for the music, because I agree a lot of it is much of the same, and breaking it down, like, yeah, it's just, you could put like Violent World at the bottom. There's a few songs you could put at the bottom because it's like, damn, dude, he did this exact same thing on Skulls or 20 Eyes or whatever it may be. So I totally get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but overall, Walk Among Us right now, this week, it did it for me, and it's my number 1. And Skulls is my favorite off this record, hands down.
There's also something to be said. Like whenever we do an album of the week, we inevitably listen to it a lot, and so when you listen to something that much, it grows on you, right? Like inevitably it'll grow on you. Except when you do Blink, your ranking is always the same, so that always kind of weirds me out. But yeah, I get it. I get why this would be your number 1 this week.
And I mean, I listened to the first 3 records. I listened to each one. I listened to probably maybe 5 times over the last week and a half, because Earth AD is 15 minutes. This is 25 minutes. Static Age, I think, is 28 minutes. So it's like you can get
17 songs, 28 minutes.
You can get through all 3 albums in a little over an hour. You know, that's a whole hip hop album right there. So, and we did hip hop season, dude.
It's true. You can get through you can get through the entire like Misfits discography in the time it would take you to get through like 2 Eminem albums.
I know, easily.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's so stupid.
That's punk, dude.
Yeah, I know. I really like Skulls. Skulls is my favorite, and I just love to sing it. And the
Skulls
song
cool.
too, just lyrically, it's about him being like this demon and wanting to collect girls' skulls and shit like that. Really, just elementary, stupid horrors. like B movie horror shit, which is, you know, Misfits. With like what's I kind of like about Danzig, especially like the first half of this record, you can kind of like match the horror movie stuff with like some like underlying like anxiety, depression, like undertones. Like he's talking about his anxiety and depression. But after the first half of the record, it's straight up just talking about horror movies. I don't think there's any underlying meaning.
I think that's like what his like his defense mechanism was, right? Like he was a dick and everybody hated him for it, and therefore he hated them back, and his way was to fall into this, was to be like a horror movie buff and love this kind of stuff. And so I think like when these songs are always so like dark and drab, where a lot of like old kind of B horror movies where there was a fun element to it, and sometimes there's not a fun element to these songs. They're just kind of like dude, that's kind of fucked up. Yeah. I think that's like his kind of like depressive nature coming through. Also, like I didn't know until this week, he was fucking old, dude. Like when like they were already started like 25 when fucking Misfits like formed.
Yeah.
You know, like most bands, like they're like 16, 17, they fuck around, they dick around for a little bit, and they cut their first record at 18, 19. He's like 25.
Yeah, and then by the time Doyle joined in 82, I believe. And yeah, I mean, he was 15 when he joined, or maybe he joined in 81, but he was 15. He was 15.
So, yeah, Danzig was almost 30 because he was born in 55. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, I know.
Fucking Danzig, dude. Oh my god, such a butthole.
Such a butthole, but
the tightest butthole like that's ever been.
But you can't not love these songs. I mean, yeah, I mean this record was recorded in 81. Doyle, this was the first record Doyle played on. I think he was 16. I'm pretty sure he was 16 when they recorded this album in 81. So,
did you listen to a lot of covers too? Because so like what I did, was it today or yesterday? I don't remember, but I made my playlist of songs that are on Spotify through various things. There's only like 3 songs from this album that were not on Spotify. Yeah. Everything else was on Spotify in some capacity. But when you type it in, like Mommy Can I Go Out and Kill Tonight, it'll say like Misfits, and then also like any band that's covered it, right?
Yeah.
And so inevitably I was like, oh, fuck it. I will also listen to this cover one right after the original one for a band that I think could probably be interesting. So Mommy Can I Go Out and Kill Tonight, the Bouncing Souls did a cover of it.
AFI's done a cover too, but it's not on Spotify.
That's why I don't listen to it then. But yeah, Bouncing Souls did it, and it was good. And I like the Bouncing Souls.
That comp came out, I think, in like the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, I think maybe 07.
Wasn't that like, okay? Yeah, I knew.
It was 2000s.
Yeah,
it was 97.
It's a cool cover though. It's a really, really cool cover. Yeah, I mean,
it was cool.
I mean, look at Metallica. One of the reasons why Misfits blew up, like after they broke up, was because Metallica covered Green Hell and they covered Last Caress. Like they would play them in concerts all the time. They still play Last Caress all the time, but in like I think it was 86 or 85, they put out the Garage Days EP, and that had Green Hell and Last Caress on it, and that just that catapulted Misfits into like modern or to like popular metal, popular rock, because a lot of people had not heard Misfits at that point. So, I mean, if it wasn't for Metallica, I really don't think Misfits would have been as big as they are at this day and age, because they've been a constant advocate for Misfits for decades now, wearing the Crimson Ghost t-shirt, playing with Danzig, playing with Jerry Only on stage. Like they always support this band.
I think that's the Misfits on like in a nutshell, right? So like the things that we said, like the Misfits are, it's Danzig's crew and the punk, but also like the bickering, also the fighting, also the fact that like they've never really truly reunited since like the early 80s, right?
Yeah, I mean,
like not the full,
not
what
Jerry,
we want the Misfits to be.
Not Jerry and Glenn, no. But I mean, like Doyle has played with Danzig's solo band, played Misfits songs over the decades. But yeah, Jerry and Glenn, it's always been Jerry and Glenn.
The early 80s, like they've not like fully formed and done like a reunion show. Yeah. And like that's the stuff that helps like sell your merch, sell your brand, sell your records. And then like the whole legacy brutality thing when like Danzig went and like redubbed Jerry Only's shit. Like, are you what the fuck? Are you Billy Corgan, dude? Like, get out of here.
Not only, but also Doyle and forgot the other guitarist's name, but yeah, he redid everything except for the drums.
What a douchebag! Like you're a douchebag.
Yeah.
That's a douchebag move.
But it's his songs. He can do whatever he wants. Like,
He
has all the rights
to move.
It is a douchebag. But he has all the rights to do it. But it's also like the fuck you to Jerry especially.
That's what it is, right? Like the whole Fat Mike's a dick thing, like whatever. Fat Mike don't do that shit.
No.
Danzig does it and like, oh, well, it's just Danzig. Like, no, it's a dick, man. He's a bigger dick than Fat Mike is.
I agree, yeah.
And he's a petty dick too. Do you ever watch that? Well, actually, somebody today, one of our regulars, Matt, there's a band in Arizona called Northside Kings, or they were a band in Arizona, like a hardcore punk band. Yeah. I guess there was an incident in like a backstage show where the Northside Kings were playing with Misfits or something, and Danzig, like one of the guys from Northside Kings was fucking huge, like 6'4". Yeah, it's like old stuff, like big ass fucking guy, dude, like big fat tall dude, and Danzig was pissing him off or something, and the guy's like, dude, get out of my fucking face, and Danzig pushed him, and you can see the guy in the video, the guy's so big that not only did he take a swing, knock Danzig out onto the floor, but he was so big that like he did a full 180 circle because he couldn't stop his body movement. But yeah, dude, Danzig immediately dropped to the floor, just dunzo.
That's great. That's so good.
Fucking asshole,
dude. It's like, I guess this must be like a New Jersey thing, like, or like an East Coast thing, because it's like they hold grudges forever. Obviously, with Glenn and Jerry. They hold grudges forever, and they're always fucking fighting. Like, you read the history of Misfits, especially Glenn. Glenn is always fucking fighting people. Jerry is, like, really cool to the fans, but, like, if you cross him, Jerry's going to fuck you up, too. So is Doyle. Like, all of them are going to fuck you up.
I think it's a combination of, like, just the punk ethos and then also being from Jersey and then just, like, the East Coast. Because we're spoiled out here on the West Coast. I'm not even on the West Coast anymore, but, like, still, the weather's very tame out here. When you have like horrible winters and brutal summers over and over throughout your life, it's just like, man, fuck this. But then also like Jersey. I think Jersey everybody hates Jersey. Everyone from New York fucking thinks Jersey is a joke. Like nobody goes to Jersey. So I don't know. I would never go to Jersey.
And people from Jersey think they like Jersey.
They think they like Jersey.
It's like that episode of South Park, like in the early 2010s. Do you remember that? It's a Jersey thing where Kyle's mom, It's when the Real Housewives of New Jersey was really, really popular, and all of a sudden all these Jersey people start showing up in South Park, and you come to find out that Kyle's mom is actually from Jersey, and then the whole tagline is like, oh, it's a Jersey thing. Like, they're fighting with people, they're being assholes, they're being dumbasses. It's a Jersey thing. Don't worry about it. It's a Jersey thing. That's like the entire thing, the entire part of the whole episode. And then Jersey takes over the entire United States. It becomes like this like kind of war between the United States and Jersey encroaching on him. Great episode. I don't great fucking episode. One of the best. One of the great episodes of South Park. Fucking love South Park.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of cool things that came out of Jersey.
Yeah.
A lot of terrible things, but Sopranos was that in Jersey?
Yeah, it was in Jersey. My grandma's from New Jersey.
She's from New Jersey.
She's from New Jersey. Born and raised, baby. So, but yeah, some cool shit from New Jersey. L.A. Beast is from New Jersey.
How do you know that?
Dude, I've been watching L.A. Beast, that competitive eater. I've been watching him for in over 10, 12 years now.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you spend so much time doing dumb ass shit. Like, okay, a guy eats he eats stuff that like people shouldn't be eating.
He eats all kinds of shit.
It was funny, dude. Like, it was funny. Like the first 5 videos that I watched, and then like years later, I watched another one. Like, oh, you're still doing that thing. That's cool, man. I'm glad it's working out for you. I'm glad you're still alive.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you can do with your day that is more productive than that.
I could take 7-8 minutes out of my day and watch one of his videos
every day.
No, like once every couple of weeks.
Add that to all the other horrible podcasts you listen to there's no information you're soaking from that.
I enjoy it, man. I work 8 hours.
You can't even take the fucking trash out. The trash was piling up in your house.
It was.
The trash buckets. No, you didn't even take the trash buckets out. You're too busy listening to fucking Conan do the same bit over and over with the same guest, and you can't even take the trash out.
Okay.
Who took your trash out when I was there?
You took out one trash.
I took the trash out when I was at your house. I took out your trash.
No, okay, I've taken out your trash too when I was at your house. Plenty of times.
You didn't know where our trash cans are.
Yes, I do.
You never.
Yes, I have.
And if you did take it out, it's because I told you to take it out.
Bullshit. I've taken your trash out before several times.
Can I tell you to do it? Can I tell you to do it?
That's bullshit.
You do what I fucking tell you to do. What I tell you to do right now, take that fucking trash out. If it happens again, there's gonna be bigger consequences.
All right, so let's move on. This is getting a little wild. It's getting a little wild, little tangenty. Actually, very tangenty.
Does the figure look really long? Like it's just so weird.
You're doing this again. You did this like a month ago.
It's just so fucking
with the
weird.
camera. So your 2B was Mommy Can I Go Out and Kill Tonight, right?
That was my 1B. 2B was Skulls. I think that neighbor Phil's favorite song is Skulls.
Skulls.
Yeah. Or Where Eagles Dare.
That's a good song too. They're all good songs.
Cool cover by for the song Skulls, but the Emily Whitehurst, the old vocalist from Tsunami Bomb. I bought a 45 of hers, and it had skulls on there. She does skulls. I think she does Hybrid Moment, and then she does Total Immortal.
Yeah, that's a cool. I really want that EP or that 7-inch.
So good.
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
Fucking really, really good.
Pick it up.
I would if you got one in the store. I'll
pick it up.
I'll take it. Pick it up. All right. So, do you have anything else on Skulls?
No.
Okay.
That's it for Skulls.
Do you want to get into? I mean, what do you want to get into? Another song? Do you want to get into the artwork?
Getting the artwork a little bit because he was throwing a little bitch fit about the artwork. I like the artwork. I think it's cool.
I do too. I like most of their artwork. I think it's really fucking rad. So this is like,
I like this. I mean, I think Static Age is probably the worst artwork, but
yeah,
I like this one a lot.
Except for Project 1950, that is the worst.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is their worst. And then Static Age, but I like this one a lot because it's perfect, dude. They're goofy ass on the cover, right? Like the four of them just kind of standing there, like the spaceship coming in. That's from one movie. The spiders coming in. That's from another movie. It's like it's a fucking perfect like artwork, and like the pink. I like the pink background over the purple.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It pops. It's stupid. It's goofy. It's campy.
Absolutely.
It's so not punk.
I have the purple background. The purple background with the green writing on vinyl, but I do prefer the pink. I think the pink background is better. And then, like you mentioned, yeah, the flying saucers are actually taken from the movie Earth versus the Flying Saucers. And then the little it's called a rat bat spider. I mean, very on the nose. Rat bat spider, very on the nose from the movie The Angry Red Planet. Both B movies. Never seen either of them, but I imagine it's like any other B movie from the 50s and 60s.
Dude, both of those titles. Garbage. Who's Earth fighting? Just flying saucers. Love it.
And so call it the rat bat spider. It's very.
What we should have was B movie season. We should have incorporated all October with B movie season.
That would have been good. Maybe next year. But maybe. I do really like this. And do you have this on vinyl?
No, we actually got a second press in, and then we got a third press in. But it's just the price tag on them are so high.
Yeah.
And sometimes we pay like more for records. And so when we buy a record for, let's say $100 and we sell it for $200, I feel worse about taking it home than I do if someone just drops off a collection and just says, "Hey, you can have this," and then I find it in there and like, "Oh shit, this is in there." Then I can take it home and I don't feel bad. But when we pay good money for records, and I don't like taking them home too often.
I get it.
And it wasn't a first press, so
that's what you're all about. That's what you're all about. Right?
Dumb. I do have a late 80s, early 90s pressing of Earth AD, Wolf's Blood. It's on translucent wax.
That's sick. Yeah, my Earth AD, mine's like a 2020 press. My Walk Among Us is an 88 press, and then my Static Age is I think it's a 2018 press or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think I bought mine on fucking Amazon.
Oh, your Static Age, yeah.
Yeah. I guess we could talk about like some of the unless you were already been talking about something else.
No, I'm good. I'm good talking about the album cover. I mean, what it comes down to is like the different colors, but that only comes into effect when you're talking about the vinyl variants and how expensive a lot of this fucking shit is, which I think is relevant.
That's what I was going to get into, baby. Is just how expensive their early shit is.
Yeah.
How wild their early stuff is.
Now, all right, so what do you got with the vinyls then?
You know, just how wild some of these records are, how much they fucking go for. So
yeah,
for whatever reason, some are worth more than others, and that I don't quite understand and get why. Because like Walk Among Us is not worth as much as like Earth AD Wolf's Blood, like an OG of that.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make much sense. Maybe
And
because it's less sought after. That's the only thing I could think of.
I think maybe they just made less of them, right?
Nah, that's fine. Like an original run of it. Yeah, maybe that's it.
Because like Walk Among Us, I think you can buy it for like $500, like an original, which is still a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
But I've become very desensitized for the price of records because the store. But like an OG of Wolf's Blood is like $5,000.
You actually know somebody who has an OG.
I know. I do know somebody who has one too. Condition, I don't know what it is, but I keep throwing out. I message him every couple of months and just remind him that I exist and remind him of what he has and remind him that I would give him thousands for it. And that's something that like we try and pay like half of what your record is worth. If we sell for $100, we'll give you $50 for it. Something like that I know I can probably sell for $5,000 in like a week. I don't mind giving like $3,000 for because I know I can make $2,000 in a week.
Yeah, and people might think, people listening not knowing the game think, oh, that's a terrible deal for me if I'm selling it to you. But honestly, what you guys give people is not significantly, but it's much higher than what most record stores or dealers give people when they sell records. So, I mean, you actually give a very good deal.
Greedy fucks out here. They're like, oh, that's it. I'm like, you're making more money off of this than I am because I have to pay taxes on this shit. You don't.
There's that too,
like,
yeah.
Oh, I guess you're right. I'm like, yeah, you idiot, the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And then the other EP, the Bullet EP, right, with the JFK exploding head. That one's worth a pretty penny. But the Holy Grail, the biggest one, the one that like any collector of punk, even 45s, like everybody wants this. I don't even know what songs these are. The Cough Cool.
Yeah, it's the first song that they ever recorded and pressed to vinyl. It's an EP 7-inch. I think there's maybe 100 of them they pressed, maybe 300 that they pressed back in the day, and they go for a lot of money. I think the last one sold for like $10,000, maybe 10,500, something like that. But on average, I think they usually sell for about 7,000.
I mean,
something crazy like that.
There's so little of them, and the chances of you see, so they made 500. So if you think like they made 500, you have to just assume that like half of them just don't exist anymore. There's probably only half in circulation. Yeah. So there's 250 copies of this. And like, honestly, you can name your price. Like you can literally name your price on something like this. They're so fucking rare. Yeah. And like, what do you even do with this, right? This isn't something that you should just buy as a collector. Like this belongs in a fucking museum or something. You know what I mean? So the last one, like there's a site called PopPsych. You can look at eBay listings that have sold. The last one sold on eBay in 2022 for $12,000.
Jesus Christ.
$12,000 in 2022. Wow.
Yeah. I was just basing my number off the highest sold on Discogs, and it was like 10,700 or something like that. That's for two songs. There's just one song on each side. So
that's fucking absolutely insane. But yeah, this is the type of thing that like the punk rock museum wants and stuff. But them fuckers got paid for this then.
Well, what also makes that single very unique is that was when the band was a 3-piece and they had no guitar player. It was just Danzig on vocals and keyboard, and then piano, and then Jerry on bass, and then the drummer
Manny.
Yeah. I think that was the only thing he ever played on, right? I think was just that.
Yeah, I'm on his Discog just like searching. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, he didn't really do much for the band, like Manny Martinez or something like that. I forgot his name. They've had a lot of.
Year.
Really? No shit.
Yeah, age 69.
Nice. That's fucked up.
I was laughing at the 69. You laughed that he died. That's fucked up.
Oh, no, I was laughing at the 69. Nice. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the amount of money that some of this shit goes for is absolutely insane.
Misfits are like they should be so much bigger than they actually are, even though they are really big. But they really should be so much bigger because that Crimson Ghost is it's up there. I think the Crimson Ghost is more iconic and recognizable than like the Nirvana Smiley.
I would agree. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And also, the Crimson Ghost comes from like an old TV serial. Movie serial, whatever, from 1946. Yeah, it's not even theirs. They took it from that, and I was gonna watch it. It's 12 different episodes, like 15, 20 minutes each. But I just didn't have time to do it this week. I've been a busy boy. But
We had a long weekend. We had a long weekend.
Yeah, very very long weekend.
You should post that picture of all our beers. I think we posted on our Discord. So yeah, you fucking
see it. Or I'll just post it right here. I'll post it right now. If I remember while I'm editing, I'll post it right here so you can see it.
That's a lot of beers. That's a lot of beer. I've been showing people out here, like I'm very proud of it, and everyone has the same reaction. Like, what the fuck? Like, no.
What's wrong with you? What is wrong?
Like, yeah, that's what we did. That's what we did, dude.
And Tammy was the one who brought up to me. She's like, "You guys had more than that." It's like because you had more beers outside of the original stuff from Costco and the stuff that we bought after because we ran out of beer because we had to buy more beer because we actually ran out. So, but she's like, yeah, you guys had like probably maybe 15 or 20 more beers than what's in that picture. It's a pretty wild picture. It's a pretty wild picture.
Pretty wild.
Speaking of pictures, I'll post this on Instagram. I might post it on this if I remember as well. But a while back, we actually met Jerry Only back in 05, I believe, or 06. It was 06 at the NAMM show. We met it. We ran into him randomly. It wasn't like a autograph session or anything like that. And he was super nice to us. Really, really fucking cool guy. And he's like, hey, you guys want to wear my armband or whatever and take a picture? And we're like, fuck yeah. So we each have a picture with Jerry Only holding up. Like we have one of his little armbands, or like not a little bit, like that full like arm guard thing. Yeah. We're just holding it up like
disgusting,
that.
Which is full of fucking sweat and grossness. But I still contend that we asked and he didn't offer.
Wait, what do you mean?
That out there.
Are you sure we asked?
We asked. I think that we asked to wear.
I don't think we did.
Hey, fuck it. Yeah, do it.
I think we were a little too timid at that time. I think nowadays we would have asked.
No way. We for sure would have asked.
Are you sure?
Yeah, for sure. But we weren't too timid. We're fucking dickheads. We'd ask people the stupid ass shit all the time.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. The Randy Jackson incident when we met Randy Jackson.
You and Omar standing awkwardly close together and being really weird and.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
While I take the picture, that was super weird. We didn't care.
He took extra long to take the picture too.
He stood there, dude, like a champ, man. He didn't fucking move a muscle.
And he's like half the size of me, short motherfucker.
He was so short.
Oh yeah, god damn
it. Yeah, that was cool to and of course like Jerry Only his fucking hair, dude. Like always does his hair.
Yeah, gotta have the devil lock. You'll see it in the picture, but the devil lock, the eye makeup, the full get up, man. Shows up to the NAMM show in the full get up, the boots, all that kind of shit. I appreciate the dedication. I respect the dedication to the bit. Got to keep it kayfabe, dude. As your boy Will says, got to keep it kayfabe.
That's true. I don't like Will Sasso anymore.
Stupid. You're dumb.
You're dumb. That's dumb. What's your 2B?
20 eyes in my head. 20 eyes in my head. What a great opener, right?
It's a good opener.
It's so good.
This is my 4B. This is one of my 6Bs that I thought was like, dude, this is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this one. It's so fucking catchy. It is so incredibly catchy. And I like when songs jump right into the chorus.
Yeah.
Because then you're automatically hooked. But even like the way he says all those eyes, that part, the way he says that, I love that shit.
I know.
It's so unique and cutesy and cool. It gets me really excited.
And what I like about too, like the sloppiness of this whole record, before you drop into that hook, that chorus, within like 5 seconds, it's that super that drum roll, the snare hits, the da 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 da, but they're a little bit off. Like he's not that good of a drummer to where he can play all those fucking hits. So it's fucked up, it's bad, but then it drops right into the 20 eyes chorus and it's perfect. It's perfect for its imperfect. It's perfect because it's just so kind of stupid and bad. But I love it and catchy.
I like the way he sings in this one too. This is the only time I think on the whole record where he sings this raspy and aggressive.
Yeah, he does sing pretty raspy, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It's good though.
I love this song. Yeah, the opener. What does it sit for you? BY 6? You said that low?
4B.
All right.
4B.
Well, let's get into your 3B.
3B is Night of the Living Dead.
That's a very low B for me.
Yeah,
that's my 10B. That's my 10B.
This is the best example of a pop punk template. This is a 4-chord banger, and this is like what so many fucking pop punkers built careers off of is like this song right here, and that's crazy.
Okay,
That blew my mind. I was blown away. I was like, wow, okay,
it is really good.
okay.
They don't use the palm muting a lot of palm muted things on up to this point. It's one of the few parts on the record where you hear that. But I don't know. It's a forgotten banger. It's a forgotten banger.
It's not a good song. I get it.
Also, this song was originally released back in 1979, so 3 years prior, on Halloween of 1979. So it's a re-recording of that song. So it's not something new to the record, but it's a good song. Just some good like woes, like, or not even woes. They're more like they're ahs. They're more ahs, like whiny ahs.
Like those kind of ahs.
A little bit like that. Lyrically, I don't feel like it really doesn't. It's just about the movie.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead from '68. Nothing crazy there. That's a great movie. I'm gonna watch it probably in the next week or so.
I might watch it tonight.
You might watch it tonight. I hope you do.
I might watch it tonight. I hope I do. But yeah, it's a good song. Honestly, dude, like I don't. A couple of these songs I have a lot of notes for, but
yeah,
like they're all like the Bad Brains did it. The good songs.
I know.
There's not that much different between the songs.
They're really, especially on this one. There aren't. Not compared to Static.
This happened at a time when like this music was not made like this, and so it's so fucking iconic. But it's not just, like just because you did it first doesn't mean you did it the best. I feel like this is the best, So
the one thing I will say about half of this record has like the very kind of swingy, croony backup vocals, the gang vocals. Like it's very much that kind of mid-tempo Misfits style. And then the other half of the record is very much more hardcore punk, very aggressive. Like the hardcore punk stuff being like Mommy Can I Go Out and Kill Tonight? Vampira is kind of like that. All Hell Breaks Loose is definitely like that. Violent World. Those are definitely the more, abrasive songs on the record. But then you get the crooning stuff like 20 Eyes, Skulls, things like that. It's just, that's what I like about this. And they're kind of like, it's kind of sequenced nicely to where you're not just hit with like the crooning stuff up front and then all the aggressive stuff, or vice versa. It's all split up pretty nice. So it's some pretty good sequencing in that sense.
That's true. And it's I mean, like Brain Eaters is my 5B. And I just thought, like, how the fuck can you like follow up Astro Zombies? Because that's a cool song too. I like that song a lot.
The last song, Brain Eaters, or you say Hate Breeders?
Brain Eaters.
The last song is like less than a minute. It's like an outro.
Yeah, but it's fucking amazing. It's an absolute banger. It's a minute. I think it's like 59 seconds exactly.
It is 59, yeah.
But it's not just an outro. It's like oi. It's like punk oi music. It's wild. They actually say, they're like oi 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 oi.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's fucking cool.
It is very oi.
And it kind of like it clicks. It's like, damn, dude. Like the Bouncing Souls, like they idolize the Misfits and they fucking love the Misfits and they're never shy about saying they took so much from the Misfits. And it's like, fuck, dude, they took that.
Lot. Well, I mean, like, just the crooning itself, Danzig's crooning, that's what he does a lot in Bouncing Souls. That's what Greg does.
They wanted to be the Misfits and that's cool. I love that. That's fucking rad.
A less aggressive.
Brady's is fucking dope. Yeah. You crazy.
I like it. It's my bottom. It's 13B for me.
What the fuck? So you probably like, okay, let me just go through my notes here and just pick all the fucking annoying ass punk songs that are void of any personality. So you like Nike A Go Go, right? Is that one of your top Bs?
7B.
And then you probably like Violent World. That's got to be a top B.
12B.
Damn. So what do you like over here then? Those are like the most hardcore ones.
No,
All Hell Breaks Loose is probably the one that you like.
11B. But that's fine. I love crooning. I love crooning Danzig. I mean, my favorite Danzig, my favorite Danzig, or God damn it, fuck,
Danzig's good.
My favorite Misfits song is American Nightmare, which is arguably like one of the most like crooning rockabilly style songs. I fucking love that song. I mean, that was early on too. That was also when I really really started to like Misfits, because that song was in a Vans commercial. You remember that Vans commercial where the guy was like in like, I think it was like in a padded room, like in a psych hospital, and then the American Nightmare was playing. Do you remember that commercial at all?
No.
Well, it was a Vans commercial way back in the day, and that song I really really liked. So So yeah, I mean, and that's like one of the crooniest songs he's ever put out. Like one of the most 50s, 60s, early 60s sounding songs they've ever put out. Fucking love American Nightmare. I love the crooning Danzig. That's my point.
You could have fucking fooled me because you left Static Age as below this one, but that's all right.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Could have fucking fooled me.
What are you gonna do?
Could have fooled me.
So
but yeah, we got to talk about Astro Zombies.
Let's get into Astro Zombies. What do you got on this one?
Firstly, this sounds there's a lot that sounds exactly like On the Road Again by Willie Nelson.
Really?
Like, yeah. He goes, whoa, all I want to know. And then if we go, On the Road Again, that's that same fucking song. And interestingly enough, is that the whole like chord progression of this, the din 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 din, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes play that when they play On the Road Again. so clearly it's not just me that think like this song is fucking. This song really does sound like it's going to drop into On the Road Again by Willie Nelson, which is cool. I love that song. I love this song. My 6B. I like it. It's cool. It's fun.
Maybe I have to give it another listen, but I don't hear the On the Road Again part, but whatever.
Are you really familiar with the song On the Road Again?
I guess maybe I'm not. I guess I'm not as familiar as I thought.
Yeah, you're not as familiar with that because that's exactly where it's going.
Okay.
And it was, again, dude, like that chord progression, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, because they interpolate a lot of like classic punk songs into their covers, and they chose to do this specific song in the beginning of On the Road Again.
Fuck, I don't know why I can't place it. Okay, well, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah,
I
the
believe
song slays.
First.
It's good. I love it. It's great.
It's that mid tempo punk. I mean, this is my 4B, so it's like the more crooning song, mid tempo Misfits punk here. Danzig's going full like late 50s rockabilly kind of thing. I love it. I fucking love Astro Zombies. It's amazing.
Astro Zombies is good. It's a good song.
Great background vocals, some really good harms on this one as well. Some cool like accompanying drum parts that it's like, okay, finally he's not doing something that's just like the same like do gat. It's just like he's like playing to the song. He's playing. There's like some songwriting here. You know what I mean? So Astro Zombies is a absolute banger of a song. Also,
it's good.
It is lyrically just based off of the movie Astro Zombies from '68. Nothing really to talk about there, but
it's a cool sounding movie.
It is. I'd be done. I mean, if we were really like good at at this podcast, which
this is just because we were pressed for time because
we were kind of
5 days lost in the sauce.
We really
like literally 5 fucking days, like lost in the sauce.
I mean, we could have watched a lot of these movies, but we've done Misfits in the past, and we'll do Misfits again, I'm sure.
Dude, the way we treated our bodies this past 5 days was as if like, I don't even know. I'm just gonna say something mean about people that are trying not to drink so much, but it was wild. Like what we did, it was crazy.
I mean, we've estimated that we had 125 beers, I think it was, between the two of us. 125 beers in 4 days.
Basically,
really
4
full nights.
Days.
Yeah, 4 full days. 3 full days and 1 night. That would be the better comparison. Because you got in on Thursday night at like, we started drinking at like 10:30 on Thursday night.
Like 6.
Till 5, yeah, 5:30, around 5:36, yeah. And that's why we didn't work the next day, because we were really hungover.
Yeah, that was just not going to happen.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we had a lot of. God, that's wild.
Astro Zombies, one that I really wanted to touch upon. The other one, honestly, my notes are very.
They're a little bit thin.
Nothing against it. Very, very, very superficial.
A little thin.
Very thin.
That's fine. I mean, what it comes down to is, I mean, this band they weren't together for very long. 5 years? Like initially they were together for 5 years, not counting the Graves era, only era, and then the reunion. I mean, they were not. I mean, they put out a lot of songs within 5 years, essentially 3-4 albums worth of material, 5 albums if you want to really get crazy. So they really didn't. They did a lot of stuff in a very, very short amount of time, considering how little they have. I mean, some of these records, I think it was, what was it, Earth's AD I think it was Earth's AD. No, maybe it was Static Age. They recorded and mixed that entire record in 6 days. 6 fucking days. And the only reason why they were able to do it, no, that was Earth's AD. With Static Age, they were given 30 hours. They were given 30 hours of studio time because Danzig ended up selling the rights to whatever record label he had started. It was like Hopeless Records, not Hopeless Records. It was something. But he ended up selling it to like EMI or some other fucking major label. And they were like, yeah, so I'll sell you the copyright to my label if you give us 30 hours of studio time. And they did. And that's essentially where Static Age came out of. And then Earth's AD, like I said, I think that was 6 days to record and mix that record, which is fucking nuts. Like we talked about like Nirvana's Bleach that was done in like 8 days or something like that. Damn.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
These are punk tunes.
Yeah, they're not overly complicated, but even still.
Fucking same drum beat over like 80% of this record. Like it's nothing. Like all these things that I knock bands for doing this, 30 years later. It's like these are trail runners here. They're paving a new spot for punk music, for music in general, for singers. So it's not difficult music to do, but like man, it's so fucking iconic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 90% fucking Danzig. Just his voice alone. Like
it really is. Yeah,
Misfits. That's most what Misfits is.
100%. 100%.
Did you ever listen to? Didn't one of them or some of them do like a Christian?
Yes,
thing?
I did want to talk about that. So after Danzig broke up the band, or he left the band essentially, he went on and did Sam Hain did 3 records. I believe it was 3 records with them. Jerry Only, and really Jerry Only became like this born again Christian after having a child. Him and Doyle, and I forgot the singer's name, they created a band called Christ the Conqueror, but it was with K's.
Christ with a K.
With a K. And
yes.
it was Conqueror.
Love that.
It was Conqueror with a K. They had a logo, a full on logo. They had like they put out like their first EP, and it wasn't like widely released at all. They put out an EP, and they had stickers for it. They had hats for it. Like the whole bundle was stickers, a hat, the cassette, and a couple other like promo items and everything like that. And they were gonna come out with a full length record, but it never ended up happening. But over time, the full length, all 13 songs are now out on the internet. And I listened to the first 6 songs. It's cheesy as fuck, dude. Did you listen to it?
Misfits cheesy? No, I didn't know about it until today.
No, it's very much more metal. Like what's not Dio, like maybe musically like Dio metal, but not vocally like that. So it's very I can't even explain it. It's over the top. It is certainly over the top, but not technically over the top. It's just
Dude,
it just
the name
sounds
Christ with a fucking
Christ
K
the Conqueror.
is wild.
And did you see the logo? So it's like the hilt of the sword. The hilt. So it's a sword, but the hilt of the sword is the K, and then
that's so cool.
And then it says Christ the Conqueror within the sword blade.
That
makes sense.
Fucking cool.
Like you have to see the logo. Yeah, it's kind of a cool logo. It's kind of a cool logo, but very late 1980s. Very.
So this
very
was
late
like
1980s.
this is fucking Misfits, dude. Jerry Only, Doyle.
I forgot
Dr.
the singer.
Chud,
and then the singer. I forgot the singer's name. It was somebody.
Jeff Soto.
Yeah, I don't know. It was some random New Jersey guy, some New Jersey mooch or something.
Some fucking New Jersey mooch. I guess he plays on a lot of, he played on Rising Force. He sings on Yngwie Malmsteen's.
Oh, that's what it was.
Stuff.
Yeah, Yngwie stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
But
dude, that's a cool ass logo though.
Right? It is a cool.
That's fucking dope.
And if you look on the YouTube of those songs, it's like people are asking like, oh, I want like a high quality like image of that logo. Because it is pretty fucking cool. It is pretty fucking. It's cheesy as hell. Dude,
the album's called "Deliver Us from Evil." That's so sick. That's so cool.
It's so Christian, but
it's so Christian. Like man, they could have made this so like if they could have done basically Misfits with just like Christian metal like this.
Yeah,
this could have hit hard.
Did you see the picture? The 3 of them in the picture where Jerry Only has like really long hair, like way past his shoulders. No devil lock. Do you see that picture? Because if you go on YouTube and if you type in Christ the Conqueror, there's like a cheap promo shot of of Jerry Doyle and I assume the
Oh
singer.
yeah. Oh damn.
He has like super long like brown hair. Like it's not dyed black. It's just like long, slick back, but all the way super far, super fucking long.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Christ the Conqueror, that was something, man. I got through half of it, and it wasn't terrible because I only shut it off because I had like other things to do for work, and I just never went back to it. But it wasn't god awful. But anyway, yeah, Christ the Conqueror, that was. But nothing was like really officially released outside of like a small cassette of a few songs.
Yeah, it really was just a cassette in what 1990.
I believe, yeah. And then there's like, but if you go on Discogs, there's a bunch of like bootleg vinyl, like a ton of bootleg vinyl of the record of like I think it's all 13 songs because I think the cassette had 5 songs on it.
5.
Yeah, but there was 13 songs in total, which you could listen to them all on YouTube.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny, dude.
It was their reaction to Sam Hain. Because like the story behind that was Sam Hain was so, devil worshipping, dark and evil, and Jerry being a born again Christian was like, well, I want to do the opposite of that. I want to make something very light and powerful and this and that, and that's where Christ the Conqueror came out, and it literally went nowhere. So
dude, this band's just fucking wild. Like they just like there's so much like weird things that I read over the past like week about them, and like one of them, I think it was Jerry only had met Sid Vicious like the day before he died.
Yeah, they were hanging out.
That's wild too. That's crazy.
They're hanging out, and then he befriended Sid Vicious's mom. After
that's what it was. Yeah,
like because I guess they went back to I think it was New York for whatever reason, or no, they were recording something in New York, and he was hanging out with Sid Vicious's mom and shit like that. Something crazy, but that's another thing too. Like their relationship with the Sex Pistols at the time, they were pretty close with that band. Maybe not Sid Vicious, but at least the other guys for a while, and then eventually Sid. They wrote a song about Misfits wrote a song about Nancy, which our views on Sid and Nancy were very critical of that, but
very critical.
Also, I didn't realize that the very first Misfits show was at CBGB's in New York.
The very first one?
The very first like real official show was at CBGB's.
Look at that.
That's pretty sick, man. But
and their shows were crazy. Like their shows were always fucking just absolutely nuts, like bonkers. Like we talked about like Bad Brains being nuts, but like reading some of the stuff about their shows, like just fucking Like everyone needs to go to jail after like reading some of the shit that I heard. That like, it's crazy. Weapons, stabbings, slashings, constantly broken bottles. Like they get arrested for like breaking fucking glass and trying to stab people and shit.
Yeah.
Outside other people's shows.
Yeah, and I tried looking up videos from like the late 70s or early 80s. There's not a lot there, but the videos that you do find, it's just like the quality's so bad that it's like almost not even worth watching. Yeah, it really is.
You can't even see what the fuck is happening.
Dude, they were so fucking crazy too. I think it was like in 81, maybe 82. They were touring and they were in New Orleans, and they went to some like grave site to like one of the most famous voodoo like women like in history, and they tried to like dig up her grave and shit like that, and then they got busted by the cops, and I think it was Danzig and Jerry, they got arrested and they were in jail for like 2 days in New Orleans, and then they got they were set out on bail, but then they just like fucking fled the state, and that was pretty much it. And then I looked up the voodoo lady and shit like that, and sure as shit, yeah, she was like some like famous, like really famous lady in the 1800s that was known for doing like voodoo, but a lot of it was like kind of crackpot shit, like snake oil kind of salesman kind of shit. But I don't know.
Wild, fucking weird, dude. They're weird. They're just fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's right though. Whatever. That's okay.
Yeah. But anyway, but a lot of stuff today, or not today, but over the last week. So let's give our final. Let's just wrap it up. Give our final thoughts on this record. Actually, real quick, I do want to know. I want to talk about one other song, "Devil's Whorehouse." Where does this sit for you on banger on the banger list? As you're putting on some nasty ass chapstick. Your chapstick is so gross. I hope people are watching on Spotify or YouTube and see how gross this chapstick is. It's so gnarly.
Devil's Whorehouse. This is just one of the ones that I thought was just a little bit like the other ones, although this one was super dark sounding. Like it's not very trebly, but it added to like the overall aesthetic. I love his yelling, but it was just, it's another song. It's another song.
So I disagree with that because it's this weird kind of like disco-y, like kind of fucked up beat that makes no sense. And for the choruses, or no, I'm sorry, the verses. But then the choruses get very, very catchy and all that. So it's a very, very weird drum beat. But then also like the way it was recorded on this record, they put like this like electronic like snare hit on top of the actual snare, and it just sounds like garbage, which I thought was kind of cool and kind of like punk and kind of silly and dumb at the time. But I do like this song a lot. And also, I just want to share this story because I want to not name drop, but I just want to talk about it. The first time I ever saw Murder Dolls play was the last show they ever played as that kind of OG lineup in 2003. I saw Murder Dolls play in 2003 at Showcase in Corona. So it was one of the Latter Day Showcase shows. They played, and they're like, "Hey, we have a guest coming out to play a song with us. It's from the Misfits, Jerry Only." Jerry Only comes out on stage, full makeup, costume and everything.
He's always in full makeup.
And they play Devil's Whorehouse. And I just remember, dude, the fucking crowd. I mean, you've been to you never been to Showcase, have you? Or have you? You have, okay, yeah. The Showcase has a fucking balcony, and back in the day, people were jumping off the balcony, people were jumping off the stage. I mean, the Showcase Theater was absolute fucking mayhem. Look up videos, look up pictures from those shows, from any show from at that venue. It's fucking wild.
And it was like 909 stuff too, so like those were.
Yeah, it was.
Those were kids who had like something to prove in that area. So like the Showcase was always flooded, especially like any kind of like punk or hardcore show was just flooded with fucking.
It was crazy.
909ers.
It was just a crazy, crazy venue. But yeah, Jerry Only came out. They played Murder Dolls played Devil's Whorehouse with Jerry Only, and you can actually watch the video. It's on YouTube. Like somebody was recording it from the audience, so you could actually go on YouTube and watch that performance. So it's just pretty cool. I was there. I was fucking there, dude. But anyway,
fucking there, dude.
Fucking there, dude.
It is crazy how many bands like have covered. What's the band we're doing? Misfits. Remember Guns N' Roses? They covered Attitude on Spaghetti Incident.
Yeah, they did.
So terrible. Fucking terrible.
It was. I think the only band that has truly done them justice have been AFI. You know, they've done Halloween. They've done Demon. Was it Demonomania? It's some weird fucking stupid name. They've done that. They've done Last Caress. They've done Mommy Can I Go On Kill Tonight. They've done so many fucking Misfits songs. And clearly, when you watch Davey Havok perform from the beginning of that band up through The Art of Drowning, he is straight up trying to act like Danzig. Like, without a fucking doubt, he's trying to look and be Danzig on stage. Fucking love AFI.
Motherfucking attitude.
But yeah, no, they've influenced so many goddamn fucking bands. So let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Give our rating of the album. We have a 3-point rating system where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album, give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So what do you got? Go.
It's hard to like deny the influence the Misfits have had on so many bands, and I think when there's always the I always talk about the Sex Pistols, the Clash, the Ramones, like the big three. And you kind of forget, like, it wasn't that much longer after they started cutting records that like Bad Brains dropped, the Misfits dropped, like so much stuff that is so much fucking better than those bands
too. Like,
are coming out with records. And that's fine, right? Again, like just because you're the first one doesn't mean you're the best one. So there is something to be said about the first ones. I get it, but like, dude, it's fucking night and day. Like they took a recipe and actually made it like palatable, made it digestible, and made it better in every way, shape, and form. Like literally every way, shape, and form. And it's crazy because this record kind of like objectively kind of sucks, right? Because they don't really do anything.
Yeah.
The drummer doesn't really do anything. You can barely hear the bass player. You can barely hear guitars. Like, there's really nothing to this.
It's all Danzig, baby.
But damn, it works. Like, fuck, dude. When you hear Danzig start to croon, you're just like, oh, your knees buckle, your feet melt, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man. There's never, even still today, there's never been a punk singer that could top Danzig.
No,
never.
Or that sound
never.
Like when it comes to like unique voices, Danzig is so himself. Like, Danzig when you hear it. You know Jello when you hear it. Like, you just get these singers that you just know it's them. I fucking love that.
But like, if you play, because even like Dexter Holland has a unique voice, right? And
True,
there's so many people that hate fucking his vocals. There's so many people that fucking just do not like Jello and the way he sings. But you can't, like, nobody hates Sinatra, right? Nobody fucking hates like Dean Martin. Nobody hates Nat King Cole. And nobody hates these vocals because they just like, they are good. They're meant to be fucking amazing and warm and fuzzy on the inside. Danzig takes that and it adds punk to it. And that's just stupid. That's a recipe that should not fucking work. Like, you imagine Sinatra like playing in a punk band? That's stupid.
Wouldn't make sense.
Dumb.
Wouldn't make sense.
The Misfits, dude. That's the Misfits, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just this should not be as good as it is, and I haven't spent as much time with it over the years, so I don't think it's as good as Static Age, like, by any means. So if I were to give Static Age a perfect 3, which it absolutely is, I would have to give it a 2.99 with a little thing over the 9 that goes on forever, because it's just not quite as good.
Why do you have to be so obnoxious? You have to be so obnoxious.
Yeah, a little bar over the number that goes on forever.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know what
I'm sure there's a thing for that. If we have math nerds in our audience, they'll be like, oh, actually, that bar is called this.
Yes, that's what it's called. Yeah.
As we probably both need glasses. We're making fun of people with glasses, but we refuse to wear glasses.
100%.
For whatever reasons.
100%. All right. So you give it a perfect 3 out of 3. So my final thoughts. I think this band is not even arguably, this is one of the most influential punk bands to ever exist. I mean, I certainly throw them up there with the Ramones, the Clash. I mean, as much as I don't like the Ramones, or I don't care for the Ramones, I understand their impact. I think the Sex Pistols are garbage, and people that say that they like them, they don't know anything. They're
garbage.
They just don't know anything. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, you could be wrong. People can be wrong, and those people are wrong.
I have a lot of neighbors that are wrong about The Wall, and they fucking claim to love Pink Floyd's The Wall, and they're all wrong about it. That's fine.
The Wall's good, but at least with The Wall is good. Sex Pistols are not good. They are just not good. But anyway, like Misfits, they're I feel like they're so underrated in punk.
They really are underrated.
Not in punk music, but just in music in general. Because if you talk to anybody about music, they'll talk about punk music, and they'll talk about the big 3. Then all of a sudden they'll jump to the 90s. They'll talk about your Green Days. They'll talk about your Blink-182s, the Offsprings, shit like that. But Misfits are just glossed over so much, and it sucks. They really, really deserve more. As they're playing fucking stadiums now, but
like, I get it, because if much like Rory Gallagher from Taste, where he's like your favorite guitarist, but you never fucking heard of him. The Misfits are kind of like, whatever punk band you love the fucking Misfits.
That's true.
So you kind of get that 1 degree of separation, and it's because of their image. It's because of how goofy they are. It's because of their lack of like good branding outside of the Crimson Ghost. It's because they don't fucking have reunion tours. It's because they don't put out like numerous records that's not 15 people that are new in the band and shit. They just have like bad. They probably had no manager at that point, and probably had no, what do you call the guy that like makes sure your marketing is on point?
They well, that's another thing too with the Misfits. They did, which I thought was kind of cool, as you put on you put on chapstick so weird, and it's so irritating.
I bought like a bougie chapstick. Actually, Renee bought it. It's like they got this weird fucking hydration thing.
Even though it's just
it feels so
even though it's chapstick brand, but that's bougie. Yes.
There's not a lot of things in life where you get like instantaneous gratification.
Which I agree.
When you put on chapstick, it's fucking instantaneous.
I agree with you on that.
When you're really thirsty, you drink water, boom.
Instant, yeah. It feels great. I agree with you. But the way you you're doing it again.
How do you put it on?
The way you put on chapstick, you put on like lipstick, like you put it on
well, that's your problem. I don't wear lipstick, so I didn't paint my nails in high school and wear lipstick, so you got me. Did you?
I didn't put on lipstick. Put on, all that other stuff, but
jizz.
I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Good. They're underrated.
I lost.
They really are. They really are fucking underrated.
Yeah, totally. Wild. I don't care. Everybody knows Misfits are Danzig era Misfits is amazing, fantastic, perfect. I don't do it often, but it's a perfect 3 out of 3. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. Just can't. Can't do it. So perfect 3 out of 3 for me on Walk Among Us. I do love Static Age and Earth's AD as well, but Walk Among Us just this week just did something for me. I think it's the number one underrated band overall. So thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, tell all your friends, share all the posts, and that's it. That's all. Punk season continues next week with